Divorce is one of the most significant and disruptive events in a family's life, and for children, it can be especially profound. The end of a marriage is not just the separation of two adults. It reshapes the foundation of a child's world. Parents may focus on legal processes, financial issues, or personal healing. But for children, divorce often feels like the ground beneath them has shifted. To understand its impact, we need to look at the emotional, psychological, social, and developmental effects, as well as the factors that can make the experience either damaging or survivable. When parents separate, children often feel shock. Even if the marriage was marked by conflict, kids are rarely fully prepared for the reality of divorce. They may experience confusion, sadness, and fear about what comes next. Questions flood their minds. Who will I live with? Will I still see both parents? Do I have to move? Will my friends treat me differently? These worries challenge their sense of security. Emotionally, divorce is experienced as a loss. Children grieve the intact family unit and the familiar routines that disappear. They also grieve the imagined future holidays spent together, family milestones, parents attending events side by side. This grief can show up as sadness, crying, withdrawal, or anger. Some children regress, returning to earlier behaviors like thumb-sucking, tantrums, or separation anxiety. Others act out, misbehaving at school or at home. For many, the grief comes in waves over months or years, surfacing during birthdays, graduations, or other life events when the absence of an intact family is felt most deeply. A common emotional burden is guilt. Children often assume blame, especially younger ones who believe their actions cause adult outcomes. They might think, if only I behaved better, or if I didn't fight with my sibling, maybe mom and dad would still be together. Even when parents reassure them, children may still internalize responsibility. This guilt can create anxiety, self-doubt, or a long-lasting pattern of self-blame. Anger is also frequent. Children may feel betrayed or abandoned, and they may direct their anger toward one or both parents. They might refuse to visit the parent they perceive as responsible, or lash out at both for breaking the family. Anger may appear in aggression, defiance, or silent withdrawal. It often hides deeper sadness and fear. The age of the child plays a major role in how divorce is processed. Younger children often don't fully understand permanence. They may think the divorce is temporary, like a fight that will eventually resolve. They are more likely to show regression or clinginess. School-aged children understand more, but still feel powerless. They may focus on logistical details: who will pick them up, where they will live, whether both parents will still attend their activities. Teenagers grasp the complexity more fully. They may feel anger, embarrassment, or relief if the marriage was full of conflict. Some teens take on adult roles, offering emotional support to a parent or caring for siblings. It brings its own vulnerabilities. And divorce interacts with those developmental tasks in unique ways. Academics can be affected. Stress and distraction often reduce concentration and performance. Teachers may notice slipping grades, missed assignments, or behavior changes. Some children throw themselves into school as a way of coping, but many disengage. Moving homes or switching schools can add further disruption. Research shows that children of divorced parents are statistically at slightly higher risk for academic difficulties. Though supportive parents and teachers can make a major difference, divorce also shapes social relationships. Some children withdraw from peers, feeling embarrassed or ashamed. Others act out, becoming disruptive or aggressive. Changing homes or schools can interrupt friendships. Even if divorce is common among peers, children may still feel different or stigmatized. At the same time, supportive friendships can provide stability and help children feel less isolated. Perhaps one of the most lasting effects of divorce is on how children view relationships. Parents are the first model of love, conflict, and commitment. When a marriage ends, children may internalize the belief that relationships are fragile. Some grow up fearing intimacy, convinced they will be abandoned. Others cling tightly in relationships, desperate to avoid loss. Some repeat patterns they witnessed, while others consciously try to build different ones. The long-term impact depends heavily on how the divorce is handled, how much conflict the child sees, and whether they receive support. Conflict between parents is one of the strongest predictors of how divorce affects children. Research consistently shows that it is not divorce alone, but high levels of conflict that cause the greatest harm. Children exposed to ongoing fighting, insults, manipulation, or being used as messengers suffer more anxiety and emotional distress. They may feel caught in the middle, forced to take sides, or pressured to reject one parent. This loyalty conflict is toxic and can leave lasting scars. Conversely, when parents co-parent respectfully, communicate civilly, and shield children from disputes, the impact is far less severe. Stability is another critical factor. Divorce often disrupts routines, housing, schools, and finances. Each change adds stress. Children thrive on predictability, and when their environment feels unstable, they become anxious and insecure. Parents who maintain routines, bedtimes, meals, schoolwork help children regain a sense of normalcy. Even small rituals, like weekend outings or bedtime stories, can provide anchors in an uncertain time. Financial stress is common after divorce. With reduced income, single parents may need to move, cut back on activities, or work longer hours. Children may notice the strain and worry about money. Financial stress can magnify parental stress, which in turn affects children. Kids may sense their parents' frustration or anxiety and absorb it. However, financial challenges are less harmful. When children still feel emotionally supported and secure in their relationships with parents, the long-term effects of divorce are not uniform. Some children experience ongoing challenges, anxiety, depression, academic struggles, or difficulty in adult relationships. Others adapt and thrive. Resilience depends on a mix of personality, coping skills, extended family support, peer relationships, and access to counseling. Children with strong support systems and open communication are much more likely to do well. Divorce can also bring unexpected positives. For children who lived in high conflict or even abusive homes, divorce may bring relief. They may feel calmer, safer, and more secure once the fighting ends. A stable single-parent home can be healthier than a toxic two-parent household. In such cases, divorce can actually improve children's well-being. Communication is key. Parents who explain divorce clearly and honestly in age-appropriate ways help children feel less confused. Kids need reassurance that both parents still love them and that the divorce is not their fault. They also need permission to love both parents without guilt. Silence or vague explanations only increase fear and uncertainty. Counseling can be a powerful support. Play therapy for younger children, family therapy, or individual counseling gives kids a safe place to express feelings and learn coping skills. Therapists can help parents co-parent more effectively and manage conflict. Schools can also provide support through teachers, counselors, and peer groups. Parents' own emotional health matters. Children are sensitive to their parents' moods. A parent who is overwhelmed, depressed, or angry may unintentionally transmit those emotions. Parents who seek support for themselves through therapy, friends, or support groups are better able to stay calm and consistent. Modeling healthy coping teaches children resilience. Siblings can provide comfort, but they can also increase stress. Divorce may intensify sibling rivalry, but many siblings grow closer, supporting each other through the transition. Parents should encourage teamwork and connection while giving each child individual attention. Technology also shapes modern divorce experiences. Video calls and texting can help children stay connected with a non-custodial parent. But social media can expose children to gossip, judgment, or parental conflicts played out online. Parents should guide children's use of technology, ensuring it supports rather than undermines their emotional well-being. Cultural factors influence how children interpret divorce. In some cultures, divorce carries heavy stigma, and children may feel shame or embarrassment. In cultures where divorce is more common, stigma may be less, but children still feel the personal loss. The cultural narrative shapes how children talk about their family and how others respond. Ultimately, divorce is not just an ending, it is a transformation. For children, it can be deeply painful, but it can also foster resilience, empathy, and maturity if handled well. Children need stability, honesty, routine, and most of all, reassurance that they are loved unconditionally. Parents who minimize conflict co-parent respectfully, remain engaged in their children's lives can help them emerge from divorce stronger. Divorce will always be disruptive, but it does not have to define a child's future. With care, communication, and support, children can adapt, heal, and thrive, even in the wake of such a profound change.